Hey everyone, this is Mike, and I'm here with Isaac.
Hey,
And we're here to talk about some video games. More specifically, we're here to talk about Steam and their whole controversy regarding a refund that they gave to a customer for Battlefield 6. It's basically causing quite a stir on the internet right now. And Polygon had an article saying that this could set a dangerous precedent, regardless. Now, that being said, to give context to this whole thing, I got a player on Steam who bought Battlefield 6, who played it for over like 400 hours, managed to get a refund by going to the customer support, saying that they removed a bunch of modes that I enjoyed from this game that just got completely yanked out, and they decided, you know what, even though you have 400 hours put in this game, we're going to give you a full refund. And basically, a lot of people said, there's no way you got a full refund after 400 hours, but no, he posted some proof on the Reddit and saying, yeah, I got a full refund of the game. Like, got a refund of the Phantom Edition. I guess that's what they consider the Ultimate Edition.
I guess so. I've not played that for such a long time, so I wouldn't know what.
I haven't touched anything from EA in a long time.
What constitutes as the Ultimate Edition or a regular edition or whatever. So,
but regardless, he got a full refund and he posted his proof on it, and and a lot of people are split on this. Like again, some people are saying that this is awesome, this is really really cool. Other people saying again this is dangerous. Mostly I got Polygon saying they have an article saying here like who the hell should be eligible for like special refunds again, and like Battlefield removed a bunch of fan favorite game modes like King of the Hill, Squad Deathmatch, and Rust. And again, this one user explored everything once, particularly disgruntled fan decided he just wanted a refund. It granted to him. But they're claiming with this article saying that this refund policy, Steam's refund policy, is very generous. In fact, might be a little bit too generous, considering that again, usually the return policy states that you can refund a game if you have less than 2 hours or have owned the game for less than 2 weeks. However, like gamers who fall outside these limits can still request a refund if they plead their case to a support agent. And again, they review it and they make the decision. But again, this person has been a customer for over 22 years, has over 2,500 games on accounts, and apparently this was their first refund request. Wow.
That's what I read. Yep.
That's their first refund request. Like if this refund can be applied to more players, that Steam's policy is flexible enough to force refunds for games that no longer feature content. And a lot of people they're trying to make the argument that this could be abused by customers to say like, oh, I put so many hours into this game, but because some arbitrary reason I could request a refund and then bankrupt the company that made this game. And yeah, I totally understand that, but again, I guess the issue here is that you removing features from a game after the game has been promoted to have such features for the longest time and not being there anymore. I'm not sure like it really constitutes like a full blown refund, but maybe some kind of compensation for removing stuff that was marketed to you as a customer to have this feature and then just have it just unwittingly just removed out of nowhere. I do feel it does constitute some kind of compensation in return, because I do think it's very unfair to just have something that you paid for that you can't control. You have absolutely no control over this being removed. So yeah, it's just really absurd. I have more to say about this, but I feel like you should get your opinion on it.
Again, you gave me this article too, and just sitting down and doing some of the research. Again, I was a little concerned about this when you sent me down this article, and for everything you said, because Steam has a policy for this for returns. after a certain limit, after like the statute of limitations and everything that you could do, there's only a certain limit you can do until you can return the game. But again, reading the article, like you said, there are special occasions too that are rewarded that will allow gamers to take their situation. And now, based after sitting down reading and actually kind of reading more into the responses that this particular person got with the writing. Now, I will say I'm a little bit on. I can understand both sides of the situation because at one end, for this particular game, when it comes to Battlefield, well, for a game that's been out, how long? And for this particular Battlefield, when was this game released?
I believe like
this year, last year,
3 years. No, it's like Battlefield 6 release date. Yeah, it was October 10th of last year. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a game that's been released for last year. You've been playing this game for a pretty long time, and the argument that people are trying to sit down and make is that you introduced the game in the beginning that had certain features to it.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, they're gone.
Yeah.
And for that, he makes a point. Like, because this is what you sold to us.
Yeah.
Is that, hey, this is what you sold to us. And now that you decide to remove it whenever you felt like it, it deserves a refund. Because, like, now I'm not paying for what I got anymore. You changed it on me. You decided to take things from me. And for that situation, and for the gamers and everybody that is complaining, that's a great point. Because it's like you decided to buy a new car right now and it has everything, and then what? A year later, you're going to remove the headset, the engine now, and all of a sudden, like, I can't drive the car? Well, of course, I want my refund back. Like, you decided to take the engine out of nowhere after I've had the car for a year.
Yeah.
So
it's just, yeah, I totally get you.
So for a situation that I get, where I think the article was trying to present more is that because this is an isolated incident, for maybe what happens for another game moving forward with other customers. Like, okay, what happens if a person decides after a year, he decides to sit down and play this game for, like you said, for 1 year and decides that, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to play it. And then goes back to Steam and says, you know what, I just don't enjoy this game, or for whatever nefarious reason, I want this game to be removed. I want a refund. Well, I can understand. I think that's the argument that she was trying to present. That could be the unwanted precedent. But even with that, I think Steam, again, because it seems like this is still human. A human person, I think, goes through the review process.
Yes.
I think when it comes to Battlefield, this is more of a special occasion because the gamer had a point. Like, he had a legitimate point. So I don't know if a gamer can try the same thing with another game unless, like you said, that game decides to remove features year down the line that you enjoy that no longer you can't access for anymore because that's all you sit down and do and you play. Then yeah, I can see that. But I think for other games moving forward, I find it a little unlikely that this goes down a dangerous slope because, again, if there is a human doing these kind of reviews, I think they're going to be able to understand, again, the game, how it was designed, what features were in it to make that call and that claim. So I honestly think this was just a one-off situation, and I think Steam is smart enough to know that this won't they're going to be able to sit down and weed out the people that either are abusing the system because, hey, they were able to sit down and play the games, or they were fall within the guidelines of when you can return your digital copy.
Yeah, I mean, again, another example of just like exceptions to their like 2-week rule is games that are obviously buggy, games that are just faulty, games that are like falsely advertised.
Yeah.
Like what was that one game? The Day Before. Like if you remember the whole controversy with The Day Before, how that was promoted at this survival open world RPG, MMORPG shooter game. Like that was supposed to be this groundbreaking thing, and then it turns out it was basically just a cobbled together like extraction shooter, and it didn't work properly. It was filled with bugs, filled with just Unreal Store assets. And it was basically just like a casual scam, but it caused a lot of people to get a bunch of refunds. Didn't matter how many hours you put into the game, you could just request a refund and it would automatically grant it until up to the point where the game just got removed off of Steam because of all the controversy. All that crap. So it's like I'm sure there's plenty of examples of Steam just granting mass refunds, but but this extent of refunding a game with 400 hours put into it is something new, very new. It's just like,
and it seems like it's very unheard of right now. Now, question: is this the only person that's done this?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I am not too sure. Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Okay. Because it seems like it seems like this is a one-off situation. Now, will all of a sudden people who have, who have played Battlefield for almost a year, who only played that particular mode, for all of a sudden have that mode be removed, will they start coming out of the woodwork and demanding refunds? I don't know. I don't know.
I really don't know. It's funny enough, though, as you mentioned, I'm looking at the comments here. Like, I don't know if I got 470 hours out of $100 purchase. That's a pretty good entertainment value. And then someone says, yeah, but if you drop like 40K on a new car and have a company build the car and now say they're taking away your heated seats, you be in the same place, doesn't matter how big or small. The context is letting a company have an inch in the direction of them doing what they want. They allow companies all to do the same. Yeah, pretty much. You pretty much had the same like analogy with the car analogy and moving the engine.
And you know what? It's, to be fair too, in the climate that we're living in right now, like I said, with everything being pushed into the digital space,
yeah.
And the fact that, once again, the whole argument is if owning is and if buying isn't really owning, then piracy isn't stealing. Situation at the moment that in the face of the fact that with everything that's happening with the digital space, especially with Sony making this grandstand within a year that there'll be no physical copies of this, the same company that basically removed all Sony movie products the day before they made that announcement. Yeah, it is a little bit of a concern right now that, hey, yes, I want to sit down and demand my money right now in a situation. Again, you took away features that I sat down and I wanted to enjoy as a person. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whatever features you have. This is maybe the only feature that I really enjoyed playing in my game. You took it away, and for that, I want my money back.
Now now my mind is whirling. If for me, and now I'm just thinking about Marvel Rivals and how they changed Black Widow. It's like, can I get a refund for all the skins I bought for Black Widow, considering you changed the character in our gameplay? No, I'm not gonna do that. I still, despite me still begrudgingly playing Marvel Rivals, I still enjoy the game. I hate the community, but I still enjoy the game. Regardless, though, looking at the thread on the Polygon, it seems like a lot of people are not on the side of the person who wrote the article. Like, just there's a person here saying, like, calling Steam's pro-consumer guidelines a dangerous precedent to which EA signed up for and agreed to, I might add, is the most brain-dead take your publication has ever had.
Wait, did EA sign up for that? I don't think EA signed up.
Well, technically, they agreed to the same terms of hosting their game on Steam.
Okay.
They're subject to the same,
they're subject to under Steam's
guidelines. Yeah, okay. their business guidelines. Exactly. If I buy a game and most of my playtime is within a game mode that was removed, not even within a year of the game's life cycle, I have the right to a refund. I don't care if the mode will eventually be rotated back in because the terms of the deal have been changed. I am no longer able to access the content that I have paid for, even if it's temporary, so I have the right to a permanent refund. If it's a simple concept that goes over your head, your lack of understanding of basic consumer rights should just... okay, no, he's swearing about it. But yeah, it very much seems like, again, nobody is on the side of the Polygon article.
No, I get it though, but I think again now I think they're a little bit too harsh on the person who wrote this
article. Yeah,
on this article, because I understand where she was trying to get at in terms of somebody who could truly abuse that down the road. But again, this really feels like a particular situation that actually has merit to it. So to that, it seems like Steam, with its goodwill, kind of understands who has a legitimate gripe and who's trying to play the system too. I don't think Steam's that oblivious to the whole situation.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. Like, when it comes to, I mean, the all digital future that we're being forced upon, Steam seems to be the most pro-consumer out of all these companies, and this is kind of just another example of them being as pro-consumer as possible.
I agree.
Even if it's just for one customer in this particular moment, but there's plenty of other, again, moments where they have been very good to the customer, and they know that the customer is their bread and butter, and they will do everything they can in their power to make sure that the customer is satisfied, because again, the alternative is piracy, and they absolutely want to compete against piracy. And Gabe Newell himself said that it's bad service, like piracy, is a service issue. Like if you just give the players access to good, consumer tools, consumer rights, give them a good service to play their games on. Don't try to force a lot of things on them.
You don't try to cheat the customer out of a product. Yeah, people are gonna sit down and continue to pay for it. It's basic, It's but if you come in here, you be greedy, you end up taking away less than what they pay for. Of course, they're gonna go to a completely different alternative because you're not doing what you were supposed to do. You're not serving your customer. It's a very simple. You would think it's very simple and to understand that, though.
Yeah. What else can really be said? Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, so what do you think about this topic? Are you cool with Steam giving out refunds to people even though they've clocked in 100 of hours into the game? Are you not cool with this? Do you agree with the Polygon article? Do you disagree with it? Or do you just not care? If you like what we do here, please rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mike with Isaac, and we are saying peace.